Hey there, Amplifiers. Thanks for tuning in. A lot of the things that we talk about with growth amplifiers really speaks to you really got to know your numbers. And sometimes you need custom reporting and able to do that efficiently and effectively. It's great to be able to look up all the details and data, but you can get lost in the matrix if you don't have it in a succinct and subtle fashion. Our guest today is really a rockstar professional when it comes to getting your data to look awesome and getting it in order. So welcome to Growth Amplifiers, Angela Meharg.
Thanks, Kenny. Good to be here.
Thanks to have you here. That didn't even make any sense. Thanks for showing up as we're wrapping up this wonderful year. And could you start us off by just giving a little bit introduction about your background and your company?
Sure. My whole career, that's 24 years now, has been focused on data-based reporting and analytics. And 7 years ago, a friend of mine said, "Hey, Angela, I know you do reporting. We use QuickBooks. We need a split commission report. Can you help me out?" And I naively said, "It's just QuickBooks. How hard could it be?" And then I found out it was really hard. They made it a bit of a black box. So that's all we do now. My company only does custom reports for QuickBooks.
I love it. So you have a very good niche and it's really practical to help people with their bottom line. So today we're going to be sharing some of the reasons and rationales and some of the benefits and why you might want to consider doing this for your own business. So take it away.
Well, I think there are three main reasons. Mm-hmm. If you're a business owner and you have a finance team or a bookkeeper or something, and you say, "Hey, so-and-so, can you get me a report on whatever, fill in the blank."
Right.
What you don't know is the Excel export gymnastics that person often has to go through, because that layout of that report, the specific items, data items in that report may not be available, even though they're in the database. So there are times when you need a custom report to run at a single click, to stop wasting time, to reduce the potential for human error, mm-hmm. and to reduce the risk of fraud. Because if somebody is creating a report for you as opposed to clicking a button and having it spit out of a system, they could be futzing around with things. Just saying.
Yeah, it is been known to happen. One of our prior guests talked about that was their specialty. They really helped track fraud, and they said it was more common than what most small business owners would care to know about. I said, ooh, but yeah, it can happen. So when you're looking at the right data and you're paying attention to it, what you focus on grows. It's that important. So what are some things that people may want to consider? Because there are some reports that you may get right out of the box if you're using a program like QuickBooks, but what are some things that people maybe could consider getting a report on that they haven't considered prior?
It's funny you should say that, because I thought we'd be able to build a library of reports over the years that could be reused over and over. Mm-hmm. But the truth is, every single customer has wanted something different. We've never been able to reuse a report. Everything's been from scratch. So what does that tell you? Everybody enters data slightly differently, and everyone measures different things. But to give you an idea of it, that split commission report is a perfect example. Because every company has a different way of wanting to hand out commissions and the calculations, and there's so many different permutations, if you will. Is it based on the item itself? Is it based on a sales quota? Is it based on the customer relationship? And is it just that sales rep? Is there a hierarchy where someone else needs to get a piece of that pie? So if someone's doing that kind of calculation every single time that commissions are to be run, that's a great opportunity to replace that with a single tool that will run it without anyone having to lift a finger.
I love the simplicity of it. And I think that's really important once you kind of know, hey, I need to be paying attention to this. And if I don't have it systemized, it could take more time and energy and probably will fall off. But if you have the right system, then you'll be satisfied with the results. So Now, I know you have something of value that if people are wanting to kind of learn a little bit more, it's on your website. Could you tell people where they can go and what they could do?
Sure. Our website is datisfy.com. It's like satisfy. It starts with a D. So DATISFY.com. On the first page, on the home page, when you scroll down a little bit, on the left side, there's a download that you can grab. It's called 8 Reasons You Might Need a Custom Report. And it goes over the different scenarios that would leave you, if you put in place solutions for those kinds of situations, you could eliminate all the manual interventions. Now, we only work with QuickBooks, unfortunately, but it is pretty widespread. QuickBooks is pretty ubiquitous, but I know there are others. So although we only work with QuickBooks, there are professionals who will help you with all those other kinds of tools. And when you do add some custom reporting, it usually elevates the value of your system to something that's worth a lot more. So you don't have to leave QuickBooks, for example, and go to a much more expensive ERP system or some kind of other accounting system. You may not have to leave it if you could just get the data out the way you want it.
Excellent. So if you're a business owner looking for some important numbers in a quick, efficient manner, or if you're an advisor and you help businesses, maybe you can consider using this tool to help the clients that you serve and getting the right data more efficiently and effectively. So those are the tips we have. Anything else you'd like to share more about your business before we wrap up in today's Amplifier Action?
Actually, it's not about my business, but it's about something that I've been learning and studying for about 8 years. Oh. And they have a podcast, and I just wanted to suggest people go listen to it. There are tons of episodes, but it's called influenceecology.com. So Influence Ecology teaches something that has been really helpful in me building my own business. And they call it transactional competence. Learning how to transact more effectively in the marketplace. So coming up with the name Datisfy was something I learned there, which is to have a brand and an identity that isn't just an acronym or your initials or something like that. There's a job for it to do. So you could learn some new things also at influenceecology.com.
Well, thank you for sharing that. It's always great to share different resources and ways we can amplify our business. Appreciate having you on and you sharing these helpful tips.
Totally a pleasure, Kenny. Thank you for the invitation.
To show your support, take a moment to amplify this message by sharing it online. To connect with me or gain more business growth insights, visit www.growthamplifiers.com. Thank you for your support.